Just my luck. You're my match. You bloody She's here! Right now.
Sweetheart, no, you're fascinated by them with some asparagus fern. Show your nobility with a bouquet of magnolias, grieving a lost love. You've my condolences.
I'm gonna cut you up nice and slow. Better come over there and teach you a... Stand there as long as you like. I'm calling the police.
Please, let me go.
What the hell was that? Better start.
How nice to see you again, Mr. Dickens. Is it time for another of the Ghost Club stories?
As a matter of fact, yes. Follow me. Number 50, Berkeley Square. 4 stories high and branded, "Beware all those who enter." There have been many strange tales of this dreadful domicile. The earliest report of a haunting was said to be the spectre of a small girl who was murdered by a servant. She could be seen at the attic windows, weeping and wringing her little hands in an agony of despair. You're not afraid, are you? Another legend claims the attic is haunted by the spirit of a young woman.
There you go.
Who purportedly threw herself from the top floor windows to escape her abusive uncle. Her screaming ghost has reportedly been sighted hanging from the window ledge. This residence was briefly owned by a Mr. James Jasper, a choir master and an opium addict. His nephew Edward was betrothed to one of Mr. Jasper's pupils, the fair and delicate Rose. However, Edward disappeared under mysterious circumstances, followed by Jasper himself. Perhaps grief sent him back to the soothing arms of his narcotic mistress. Though this house is vacant, some say it comes alive at night with screams of terror, ringing bells and slamming shutters. Although eerie, this phenomenon is easily produced by pneumatic tubes and valves. There are claims that a young man was caged in the attic, his only connection to the rest of the world a tiny hole in the door. A young man who was reduced to madness by this extreme isolation. The legends all seem to focus on one room in particular. A sudden draft. Nothing more. My word. Perhaps I shall wait here while you investigate the source of that laughter, which is not at all unsettling.
Charming.
All right, then.
Now tell me, why were you at that house?
What's it to you?
Out with it.
All right. We were there for the treasure. We found a key to the secret passage.
What secret passage?
Yeah, Number 50's got a secret passage. Here, take it. Just leave me be.
I've found a lock, but I haven't located the key.
It's here.
Ha! So this is how it works.
Impressive.
Get out of my house!
Stand back, Chance.
There was no one whose love for Rosa came near to equaling mine. It should have been enough to keep my beloved nephew away. My poor Ned. Forgive.
I didn't...
Alas, the myth has been discredited. There was no ghost in Berkeley Square, just a wretched soul, driven to murder and madness by guilt and intoxication. I think this has the makings of a rather fine novel. I wonder if I've got one left in me.
You think these streets belong to you?
There you are. This could be interesting. There's no shortage of firearms in this neighborhood.
I suspect the solution will turn on geometry, timing, and human nature.
There may be a penny dreadful in it. Look into it, won't you?
From what I can gather, Prescott was shot almost exactly at 12 o'clock noon.
He was a good man. Very honourable. I'm proud to have served under Colonel Prescott in the 11th Foot Gold Coast, Africa. I was on my way here. Heard 2 shots I did, right at the stroke of noon. Bullet hole in the clock. That's a new one. It could have already been there when I arrived at noon. Or maybe it was the second shot I heard. Prescott put that up in memory of the time he led a sortie across the Pra River to outflank Ashanti warriors. Things turned out badly that day. Horrific. We lost several of our comrades. Prescott wanted us to remember them.
When Colonel Prescott retired from the army, he used his connections and started this munitions factory. He wanted the men that served with him to have work when they left the army. The young lads across the street were fooling with a pistol they'd found. A bullet must have gone astray through the wooden fence. Hit Mr. Prescott smack in the chest. Bloody unlucky for all concerned. The young lads across the... Apparently they put the clock there while doing some repairs. It still runs, I notice.
Him and me like to insult each other. I was a lieutenant under his command in Africa. I love the army. No one questions you when you wear a uniform. Anyways, every morning when he arrived, we'd call out and joke with each other. Yeah. Well, Prescott led a flanking sortie that went wrong. Lots of casualties. Some men called the colonel a coward, but it were really just bad luck. Anyway, he resigned. To make amends, he offered work at his factory whenever one of us left the army.
We stood right there on a mark and shot the target. I went to shoot, but there was a loud bang. I was surprised and missed the target completely. It wasn't me who killed the man. I'm no murderer. We found a revolver underneath the lumberyard window. Don't know where it came from.
I admit it. I sell stolen rifles and pistols. All very hush-hush. Black market. I made that shot. Early this morning, Prescott challenged me to plug the 12 from my shot. I missed just slow. No one witnessed it. It was too early in the morning. I brought that gun back from Africa. I was a sniper fighting the Ashanti. I used that gun this morning for Prescott's challenge. It's the only Whitworth we have. I'd never sell it.
Saw him each morning as I drove by. Seemed like a good sort. We lost an entire barrel of beer, damn it. I heard 2 loud bangs, but thought nothing of it. Later, I found a bullet hole in a barrel. Imagine that, a bullet hole. My lad Samuel might know more. He's around back, tossing trash in the river. The poor lad. Fell on my doorstep a few years ago. He's in a bad way, has some sort of malady. Rides in the back while I make deliveries. Hard worker, very determined.
I just drop off beer. Don't pay much attention to people along the way. There was an hole in a barrel. I've got no explanation for that. That's for some sickness I picked up a while ago. Can't remember the name of it. His goddamn cowardice in Africa got me best friends killed. He should have faced a firing squad.
Very good sleuthing on your part. It's a miracle anyone survived, what with all those bullets whizzing about.
Up to the click with you.
You having a go? I'll deal with you personally!
The charter of the land, and guardian angels signed this flame. Rule Britannia, Britannia rule the waves. Britons never shall be.
Better check the back. I'm here to see Mr. Roth.
Weapons?
No, thank you. I've got my own.
You should be on the stage, sir. This way.
Ah! Our honored guest has arrived. Come, sit. I've had my eye on you for some time. I find your heroics in battling the great Crawford Starrick quite magnificent.
I've been picking off your soldiers one by one. Doesn't that make you angry?
On the contrary, surprise is a spice of life. Now, Mr. Starrick, that's a different story. I'm drowning in directives, all terribly boring. Let's say we work together and bring him down.
I'm not so sure about that.
My friend, if I fail to provide you with the chance to cause Starrick some pain, well, you can charge into this theater and kill me yourself.
What do you get out of all this?
The chance to have a little fun with the bravest man in London.
You have a deal.
Lewis! My carriage. Shall we? Take the reins. Driver, to St. Pancras. And don't spare the horses.
I thought you and Starrick would be fighting for the same ends. What happened?
You know, he required my services to train his gang leaders, but the man is dreadful.
You don't say.
Freedom, Jacob. Stealing that is far more than a sin. It denies us our humanity.
Right you are. And St. Pancras will ease our suffering?
The station contains a large shipment of explosives to be dispatched to Starrick and Co.
And you intend to steal it?
What? No. I intend to blow it up. Yes, this will do nicely. There's a train parked inside St. Pancras.
Then I'm to do away with Starrick's merchandise, leaving chaos in my wake?
Why not, Jacob? Why not? As we speak, the up train is headed towards us. That may help you enter the station unseen.
As long as it remains on the tracks.
I'd say good luck, but you don't need it. I shall make certain any reinforcements from Starrick are kept away from the station.
Someday you blighters will understand that I'm doing this for your own good. Now to find somebody to drive this hunk of metal.
Oi! Get your bleeding hands off me! What do you think you're up to?
Hush now, please. Do be quiet, sir. No need to make a fuss.
What do you want from me?
I just need you to keep the engine stoked.
All right, I'll help you. Don't hurt me.
Think of me as another passenger. I just happen to have a rather large blade pointed at your back.
What do you think you're up to?
Would you be so kind as to get up some steam?
Splendid! Starrick will be on his knees in no time. My hat is offered to you. Apologies, I must run. Do come see me again.
solid oak cane. Good for putting a bit of stick about.
Ah, this is one that's most promising.
An important detective is missing. Skullduggery is surely afoot.
Solve it, and I'll write it up quick as you please.
He's a friend of mine. The whole station is out looking for him as we speak. Ironically, he came here on an investigation himself. Seems several people have gone missing in this part of town. We've had reports of missing people over the last few months. Detective Murphy is just the most recent and the only one who's anybody to speak of.
I saw him going into the barber shop when I was on my way to work. In this kind of neighborhood, people come and go.
I should go back and ask about this.
An odd man indeed. He spent a fair amount of time in here, poking around. Some people around town just seem to vanish. It is mysterious. George delivers that to us. It's amazing. The flowers just grow and grow. Sweet boy. Constantly giving my assistant gifts, a jacket, a handbag, and so on.
George is my sweetheart. I think he plans to propose marriage soon. Maybe even today.
Must be about someplace. He's probably got pie-eyed and run off somewhere.
That's unusual.
Move it over there. Sharpish. No, move it over there.
He was in here asking about missing people. Bought a meat pie, he did.
Yes.
Stayed and chatted for a few minutes, then headed off to the barber. I'm told that some people have gone missing, but I don't know anything about it.
No, move it over there.
George delivers meat from the pies. Lovely lad. I pay on delivery. I believe he picks it up from a local butcher shop.
You mean the annoying bloke nosing around? I told him to sod off. I pride myself on the quality of the beef I sell. Somebody selling cheap around here, though, my sales have dropped off. George? I don't know any George.
He came in asking lots of questions. I believe I answered them to his satisfaction. I suppose there are a few people I haven't seen in a while. Why would you want to know about him? Stupid boy. He does deliver tan leather on occasion, but I really have very little to do with him.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
Yeah, I gave him a trim. He asked no-ended questions. When I cut his hair, I notices a tattoo right at the base of his neck. A green Celtic cross it was. You're right. Several people have disappeared over the past months. Some of them were customers of mine. I'm trying to quit drinking. Sometimes my hand shakes when I'm given a shave. George was in here earlier, getting an haircut. He wanted to look nice for his girl. He's been seeing Joanna from the flower shop for some time now. Said he's finally saved up enough money to pop a question.
Tolerate you here. Oh! You explain what you do. You're not supposed
Get out
to
of
be
here
here.
before I...
Leave.
You think you can
Right
scare me?
now.
Get out! Get out! Get out of here before I throw... You...
Explain...
Get out of here before I throw you out!
Oh, I don't want to die! I don't want...
George, I hoped he'd stop by. I want to see his new haircut. He must be at his house. Oh, I do hope he proposes soon.
He was coming too close to figuring out where all those people went. They got parceled out to the baker, the florist, and me.
You very cleverly puzzled that one out. A very unpleasant crime. Perfect for one of Mr. Raymond's penny dreadfuls.